snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hi guys, so I am here to do my May TBR. I cannot even believe that we are in May. It's crazy. Let's get into the books that I'm going to be reading. So these are not all going to be read this month. I'm going to tell you guys that now because this month is my last month at uni for the year and I'm going to be busy. I know that. So I'm trying to choose shorter books or just a collection of books that I can pick and choose from in this month to read. So definitely let me know if you have read any of them and you really want me to review them this month because I will try to, but I can't guarantee it for sure. The first book that I am going to try and read in the month of May, as soon as I get sent it, is Glazed, and that is by Kim Curran. This is a new book, it hasn't been released yet, but it is going to be released very, very soon this month, and I am going to be doing a review hopefully on the 18th of May if everything works out. It's about a girl who is called Petrie Quinn, and she lives in a world where there is this social networking media site is taking over the world, and it's called Glazed, and it is bringing the whole world together into one big family. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Ready Player One. I think it's YA, so I doubt that they will be similar, but that's what I get as an impression currently, so I really don't know very much about it. All I know is that when something goes terribly wrong, Petrie kind of gets blamed for it, and she ends up having to get onto this social networking site through illegal means, which means that she has a dodgy connection, which means that she's always able to hear everything that's going on, and she has to decide whether she wants to side with Glazed and become on their team, or if she wants to expose them and show what is really going on behind the big facade. So it sounds like it's going to be a really cool book and I'm really excited to start it. I think it'll be really interesting, so yeah, look out for that. That should be coming up fairly soon. So the next book that I want to try and get to in this month is The Cadet of Tildor. I've had this on my shelf for ages, a few months now, and I just need to get onto it. It's all about a girl called Renee who is supposedly a really, really powerful, kick-ass girl, but a lot of people don't see her that way, and it's got a really strong feminine hero, which I like. She's like an elite soldier in training, and she has to fight to remain in her spot because there's a lot of unrest in the government, so it definitely sounds like it'll be really cool. Lisa Aniela recommended this to me. I'll link her channel down below, so check her out if you haven't already, and she said that this is one of her favourite books, so I definitely need to get onto this very, very soon. So next I have Ruby Red, which is by Kirsten Gear, and this is a story about a young girl called Gwen. Time travel runs in her family, but she is not expected to get that gene from her family, so she thinks her cousin is going to get the time travelling gene, and her cousin has been preparing all of her life to go on these big adventures in time. Gwen hasn't, and unfortunately she gets the gene, so she's not very prepared for the adventure that she goes on, as far as I understand, and it sounds like it's a really fun, cool book, so yeah, I'm really excited to get onto this series. Again, this is another one that I've had on my shelf for ages and I just want to start and get into because I know it's going to be really fun when I do. So next I have Norwegian Wood, which is by Haruki Murakami. I read 1Q84 a little while ago and I really enjoyed it, so I thought I would pick up another one of his books. This is the only other one that I actually own, so I really want to give this a try. It's about a man called Toru Watanabe, and it's all about him kind of hearing this song and remembering a time when he was a student and going back into the past and the girlfriends that he had and kind of his life beforehand. But obviously it's going to be told in a Haruki Murakami style, which is very, very different to a lot of other writing. This will be an adult book because I'm sure there will be all sorts of sex and passion within it, like his other work, but I'm really excited to get onto this and kind of see what else he's written. And the book that I read was very, very deep and interesting and exciting and ambiguous, so I want to see if that's a kind of running theme throughout all of his work. So this is a maybe, I'm not really sure because it's absolutely tiny writing, but I lent this copy to my grandma a while ago when we were on holiday and she read it and she really enjoyed it, so I hope that this is going to be a really good book and I will enjoy it as well. So next we have Warbreaker, again by Brandon Sanderson, who I love, so you should have guessed that there will be a Brandon Sanderson book in nearly every month. until I have finished all of them. But this is the story of two princesses, and it's got gods in it and a lesser god, and it's got immortals, and it's got magic, and it's all about kind of biochromatic magic, which is kind of to do with colours as far as I understand, and it's also breath. Breath can be collected from every individual person, but every breath has to be taken from a different person separately, and it's very hard work to get breath, and that means that it's very dangerous to do power and magic with it, as far as I can understand. I don't really know much about it, and I've only read the blurb because I don't want to spoil it for myself, but it just sounds like it's going to be really cool, and I know that Brandon Sanderson is absolutely amazing, so I'm hoping that this will be a really fun read when I get to this. Next, I have Academ's Fury, which is book number 2 in the Codex of Illyria. I read Furies of Calderon last month and really enjoyed it, so I want to carry on with the series, and also, even though it's quite a big book and I don't really want to be reading too many big books because I've got a lot of work, the first one was really fast paced, so I think that this one will be really quick as well. That's just his writing style. It is again following the adventures of Tavi and Amara. It's all very dramatic, so I'm excited to get onto this and see how it carries on, because a lot of you guys said that from the second book onwards it gets amazing and mind-blowing, so I am excited to see what you mean by that, and I definitely want to try and fit this in if I can. Next, I have 2 books that I've actually started, the first one being The Eyre Affair, which is by Jasper Fforde, and this is book number 1 in the Thursday Next series, which I have had on my shelf for the entire time that I have been at university, and a few months before that as well, and I need to start, so I have started. I'm not very far into it, but I really am enjoying it so far. It's about a young woman called Thursday who is a kind of detective in literary crimes, and she has to investigate all of these terrible crimes that people do involving books and involving literary characters, so I'm really excited. Also, a lot of people have told me that characters come to life in this book from books. I'm not sure if that's true because it hasn't yet, but I'm only like a chapter in, so I'm really excited by that idea, and I think that that is a really, really cool concept. So if that happens in this series, I'm going to be really happy, and I'm sure I will love it. I read Shades of Grey by Jasper Fforde a while ago. I loved it. I cannot wait for the next one whenever it comes out, if ever it comes out. So this is going to tide me over until that does. And there are quite a lot of books in this series, and I only have the first few, but hopefully I will really enjoy them, and definitely let me know if you have read this series and if you liked it, because I don't know much more than what I've told you guys about it. And finally, I have Before They Are Hanged, which is book number 2 in the First Law trilogy by Joe Abercrombie, and this is following the lives of Logan Ninefingers and Beaz Lotka, who I really like. He's a torturer. Is it worrying that I like a torturer? Probably, but I really like this story. It's a very, very fun story. The storyline is very fast-paced and just exciting, fun, lots of stuff going on, and it's told from all sorts of different points of view, so that's always a really cool thing in a fantasy book, and I'm just really enjoying this so far. So again, let me know if you have read this book and this series, because I am really loving it. So these are all of the books that I am going to probably pick and choose from. Definitely let me know if there are any of them that you really want me to review, and if you are going to leave me spoilers, then please put spoiler at the top, because I myself have not read all of these books yet, and I don't really want to be spoiled, and I'm sure that there are other people who don't want to be spoiled by a comment either, so that would be brilliant. But please do let me know what you think of them and whether they're really good or not. So I'm really excited, and I hope that May will be a good reading month, even though I've got a lot of work to do. I'm going to try and fit in some reading every night if I can, so we'll see. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all very, very soon in my next video. Bye! Me and you gonna have a little chat.